Hello, Market Club members everywhere. Well, it's Friday, it's the 16th of September, and we're looking at Apple. Apple, as you know, just came out. It's delivering the iPhone 7 today. It's upgraded from the 6 Plus and 6S, but is that enough? The reviews have been pretty disappointing in terms of just like it's ordinary. Everyone's waiting for the new update next year, which will be greater, hopefully, than what we have now. But I think we've come to realize that we're expecting more and more and more wow factors with these phones. And I think there's only so much that we can deliver, or Apple can deliver. Samsung, of course, went down in flames, literally, with its batteries overheating on a Galaxy 7 Note. And that is creating an opportunity for Apple. Those people, those 1 million people who have purchased the Galaxy 7 Note, can't use it. They have to get another phone. Are they going to get an Apple? Are they going to get a Samsung when it comes out? I don't know. That's going to be a big question. But the reality is the market reacted very quickly, and it did two things. One, it flashed a signal to be a buyer, and I'll show you what that is in a second. But it also moved over this line here. This is what we call like a pivot point. So that's what we call a pivot point. You can see basically we had a divergence right here. Prices going lower, and the divergence, let me see if I can move that down a little bit to show you a better example. So this is what we're looking at. We're looking at a divergence. Prices are going down, and momentum is not going down. That was the first clue, potentially. Now, we did get a buy signal on a monthly trade triangle. That's kicked in. But we also had a buy signal yesterday at our weekly, which is the one that causes the momentum. So what we're looking at is we're going to measure from this point here. We're going to call this 110. And we're going to call this 90. We're just going to round this up to a rough. So it's basically 20. The difference between here and here is 20 bucks. So we're going to take that 20, flip it over on the upside to 30 as a target zone. Do you see that? We're going from here, 110, up to here, 130. And that also coincides with the highs seen back in June of 2015, all-time highs for Apple. So that's where most people are going to be looking to either get out of the market or take some profits at that point in time. But it does look as though everything's a go for Apple on the upside right now. As I mentioned, one tech firm's disaster is another tech firm's bonus. Apple just happened to get lucky on this one. Okay, we're looking at the S&P 500. There's the cash market. You can see this is what is interesting to me. The trend is still positive. However, a couple of things are happening. If we take our just simple line, we just draw a simple line right across here. We sort of come back to it on this pullback. However, the other thing that's a little bit disturbing is that we made new highs, yet we haven't been following that with momentum at all. And we're also below the 50 line on the RSI. Now, this is the daily indicator. On the weekly, it's a little bit different. It's still positive. But for the week, the S&P 500, based on Thursday's close, is up 0.91%. Not a big change, but certainly a positive change given all the volatility we're seeing, the 200-point swings in these markets, which are quite amazing. So let's move on. Trend is up. In fact, if we just put our trade triangles on, very simple to do, click here, you can see we've got a lot of green and a lot of red. So it's a trading range. Minus 60 is a trading range. The long-term trend remains positive on the equity markets. We've been saying that for quite some time, and it takes a lot of energy to change direction in major trends. But just remember that. Switching gears a little bit, this is a chart of the Dow. It's a weekly chart, and you can see we're actually positive for the week. We're up approximately 0.7%. Not a lot, but we are above the 50 line. The major trend, the monthly trade triangle, is still positive. There's the 60. It's a trading range. So that's what we are looking at right now in this market. This is the NASDAQ, and as you can see, the NASDAQ put in a really strong performance so far this week. It's up 2.37%, very close. The highest close we have seen on a weekly basis in this market is 5,249.52. And we're actually, if we closed here, where we closed yesterday, in the NASDAQ. This will be a new high weekly close. So let's see how that plays out for the rest of the day. The gold market continues to erode. It hasn't really found its level. However, we're right back down to an area that it should find support. And that is, of course, the RSI line around 50. So I think we're getting close to moving around. This is a weekly chart. You can see we're down some 1.5%. Not a lot, but certainly it's not a positive week. But you can see how choppy this market has been. And I think that's what we have to watch for next week. The big loser this week is crude oil, and if we put our crude oil trade triangles on, you can see we have actually all red. Not a good sign, and I would say the trend, we're going to test possibly this 42 level, which is not that far away, but I think the lowest we got here is 41.85, so I think that would be a place. The low is 39.96, so I think that would be the $40 level. Is definitely going to be a very hard support line for this, but we're below the 50 line, so everything seems to be looking as though it wants to go lower in crude oil. Hey, I'm Adam Hewison. If you have a chance to take a look at our 52-week highs, it's very easy to do. Just go to a smart scan, look at the 52-week highs. There's 127 of them. Just scope them out, put some, you can view as bar charts, put the last price, whatever you want to look at, the average daily volume and open interest. I like to look at stocks that trade over 2 million shares a day, and just look for UX exchanges. Very easy to do with MarketClub. Hey, I'm Adam Hewison. Have a great weekend, everyone. I'll be back next week. Thanks for watching this video.